folks, here we are back at the Wild West Crypto Show, and I am here with my man Blake, who's the Charity Affairs Advisor for the Tour de Crypto. These guys that are riding their bicycles across the country to raise awareness not only for cryptos, but for battered women and abused children and that kind of thing. And Blake, now you're out of the Houston office, right?
Yes, sir, I am. And let me say thanks for having me on again. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I think I told you when we talked the first time, this is a matter that is near and dear to my heart. And so anything we can do in this avenue, I mean, we're all over it, you know. So what's the progress? Where are the guys at right now?
Well, today they are actually having a day of rest in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh.
I kid with Jason. I said, they're just living the life of luxury. We had someone that's been following the tour actually rented them an Airbnb last night.
So they're getting spoiled.
Yeah, that's what I told them. I'm like, they're just living the life, man. And it was funny because there was actually a video that they posted on the Tour de Crypto Twitter page. The camera guy apparently just fell asleep in the middle of the kitchen floor.
I guess that's being comfortable, huh?
I guess, got him a nice bedroom and everything, and here he is on the kitchen floor, sound asleep.
Absolutely. Now, how many hours a day do they ride?
They're pretty much riding throughout the day. They start early in the morning, and they don't end until late in the evening. They try to get at least 100 miles a day.
Okay.
And, they're stopping not only to eat, but to also interview people and, if there's any kind of historical sites in the area, they do that as well. So they're pretty much on the road the entire day and early evening.
Man, let me tell you, back in the old days of the cattle drive, the old cowboys get saddle sore on a run like that,
I just talked to Jason a few minutes ago. He said he can hardly feel his legs.
I'll bet. So from Charlotte, where do they go? Because ultimately, and I asked you off air if you had a date, ultimately they're coming through Kerrville to see the Wild West Crypto Show and the Crypto Cowboys, and we're going to get them in studio and have some good fun doing that. When will that be?
That'll be on the 16th of October.
October 16th. So folks, listen, make it a point to come out here and let's support these folks. And if you're in the Kerrville, San Antonio, Austin area, man, come on down and let's have a big rally. What I'd like to do is, I don't know if they have GPS on it. You can tell how close they are. Or you can get them wired in, but we'll do something so that when they ride in, we'll let them ride through a ribbon or something.
Yeah, they actually do have a GPS tracker. So when they're riding, you can actually see where they are at all times, unless they're in the hills somewhere without reception, but it should be fine here in Texas.
Yeah, good. So if people wanted to go see that, where can they find that? Is it on your website or something where they can actually track that?
Yeah, on the Tour de Crypto Twitter page, every morning he usually posts the Garmin link.
Okay.
So you can just find the link there and follow them along.
Okay, good. We'll have to share that. So a little bit of R&R today, and they get back on the road tomorrow?
Yes, sir. We have a meet and greet tonight in Charlotte at an old brewery there. So they're excited about that. And then they get on the road and they'll make their way to Atlanta.
Okay.
We have a meet and greet in Alpharetta, which is just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And then they'll be working their way through through Alabama, and then on to Baton Rouge, Houston, and then Kerrville.
Okay, good. That is awesome. So,
yeah.
Obviously with these guys, are both of them endurance cyclists, or have they done this kind of thing before, or is this kind of new for them?
Completely new.
Really?
Neither one of them. Yeah, and apparently the hills in the Carolinas were absolutely killing them.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, this is completely new to them, as are copperheads, apparently.
Copperheads?
Yeah, they were riding on some trails, and one jumped out and tried to get Jovel, and I think scared the daylights out of them.
I would imagine. Well, copperheads are actually kind of aggressive. Now, Yeah, here in Texas, I mean, all we're going to have for them is rattlesnakes and water moccasins. So,
That's right. Yeah.
Well, have they hit some bad weather? Have they had to ride through some rain and some of that kind of stuff?
A little bit of rain, yes, but they'd much prefer that than the hills. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I've never done much cycling, but I did run a marathon. Seems like 2 lifetimes ago, and man, I can tell you that the endurance, and I probably like those guys. I'm not a runner. I did it on a challenge, and I actually finished a marathon in a little over 4 hours, which is pretty respectable.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but I will tell you, I was the closest to death I've ever been.
I can believe it.
Yeah. So I would imagine, now, did they practice some before they just set out on the road to ride 100 miles a day?
Yeah, they trained for a few months and then in a gym, and then they got their bikes about a month before, and they did a lot of riding around Long Island and New York, but not hill country.
Yes, yeah. Well, and they're going to see some of that. I know that y'all were initially talking about going through Austin, and I really appreciate you guys diverting and getting to come down through Kerrville. I mean, this is, kind of a cool deal for us as well. And now that I think about it, I'll get with Cassidy and have him, do some kind of a, one of those meetup deals or something so that we can start pushing it out there and get some folks to turn out. Now, when they come through Houston, are you a cyclist? Are you going to jump on the bike and ride with them some?
I am not a cyclist, my friend, not at all. If anything, I may just follow them in the car to make sure they're okay.
Hey, well, don't cheat. Don't push them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Houston meet and greet should be a lot of fun because we're going to have Ronnie Moaz is coming down. A few podcasts are coming down, which I think you guys are going to try to attend as well.
Yes.
John Kim, really active in Litecoin. He's going to be coming down. So it should be a really good event.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I talked to Cassidy about us even just going over there for the day, and so I'll need to get those dates as well, because we may do that and then have those guys come here to Kerrville. And kind of thanks to this Tour de Crypto, it's pulling together. We're interviewing Ronnie on our show this week.
Yeah, and that scares me to death.
It'll be fine, man. We all have a mission,
Yeah, as long as he and Bruce cannot talk politics, we'll be just fine.
That's right. I think that rang loud and clear, and that's part of the reason when I issued that challenge to him, I said, let's just talk about how together everyone achieves more,
That's right. Two people, polar opposite views in politics can come together for a good cause.
That's exactly right. And, we have the reality is we have the ability to, set an example for everyone. So, everyone will be on their best behavior. We'll make that happen.
That's true.
Good.
It is. I was going to say it is pretty funny, though.
Yeah, it really is. Well, and I appreciate him stepping up and saying, okay, I'll do it,
Yeah, and I thought that was good, too.
Yeah, that's good. So what has probably been their most challenging? I mean, they're let's see, today's Tuesday, so they're how far into the trip right now? 8 days?
Yeah, they started on the 14th of September.
Okay.
I guess they're 11 days. Yeah.
Yeah, they're 12 days in. So what's been their biggest challenge so far?
Well, physically, it was the hills in the Carolinas. Technologically, it's not having enough juice to run everything that they need to do videos and computers and update everybody on Instagram. We're actually having a bunch of battery packs and things delivered to them at the stop in Georgia.
Is that right? That's interesting.
Yeah. Because they rented the RV, right? So they don't have an inverter in there that they can charge a bunch of stuff. So apparently they're all fighting over the one or two plugs they do have while they're on the go.
Yeah. Hey, so nutritionally, what kind of stuff are they doing? Because, they've got to be on a calorie burn of 5,000 plus calories a day.
Oh, at least, yeah. They are. We have a company, it's called jackedandrich.com, and they are supplying the guys with food. So they're actually having pre-planned meals sent to them at some of the stops.
Okay.
And then one of the Digibike community members, who's a member of the team, Laura Taylor, she actually brought them a ton of food today in Charlotte. She lives near Charlotte, so she brought them a bunch of food.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can tell you that back when I was running, and it probably doesn't necessarily apply to these guys, but when I did do the running, I did prior to running the marathon, I ran probably 20, 5Ks, and I ran half a dozen 10Ks and went and did that. But we always used the excuse of carbo loading, so we did eat pasta and drink beer,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't think they're drinking any beer, but they are certainly eating well. Trust me.
and a bunch of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Hey, do me a favor, the guys that are providing, any other people that are sponsoring this thing, please shoot over some info, because we'll shoot out accolades to the folks that are all behind this effort and this endeavor. It's a great cause. We're happy to be a media partner for you guys,
Yeah, no, that's great. BitNinjaSupply.com, they have all our tour merchandise, and they're actually donating 100% of the proceeds to HAWC. And then Huddle Fuel is coffee. They are also donating a portion of their proceeds to HAWC. So yeah, we have a lot of people that are helping us out.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's awesome. And obviously I watch this as it trends every day, and it's gaining momentum, which is exactly what we wanted to see.
Yeah, and we're excited about that. Followers keep increasing. More people are becoming aware of it. The guys at World CryptoCon are really working with us to spread the word. So yeah, it's going well.
Yeah, good. Well, listen, Blake, I appreciate you. I know you've got, being an attorney, it's a life of meetings for you, so appreciate
yes,
you taking some time out today to come and update us. And we'll be touching base with you guys. We're trying to put something out at least once or twice a week on progress, and can't wait to see you guys in Houston.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Have a good one. Tour to Crypto, guys.